Hi, I'm Amber with Kaleidoscope Yoga, and I'm so happy that you found me here in my little neck of the woods in YouTube land. If you like your practice today, please do me a favor and subscribe. I would be so appreciative. And if you're not up for that, maybe leave me a comment or a like on the video. You can let me know if there's anything that you would like me to cover in future videos. It would be awesome. So go ahead and find yourself a comfy seat. I'm sitting in Sukhasana or easy pose. This may not be comfortable for everybody. I'm sitting up on a block because it helps. I've got pretty tight hamstrings, so it really helps kind of let my legs relax down, and I can get a taller back as well, a taller spine. If I'm sitting down on the ground, I always feel like I'm leaning forward. And if you feel that way too, know it's putting a lot of strain on your low back, and sitting up either on a blanket or a block or some books might be really beneficial for you. Well, it will be beneficial for you. All right, so please find your nice tall spine lengthening through the crown of the head. And we're going to begin today's practice by drawing the shoulders up to the ears. So start taking a nice deep breath in. Bringing those shoulders up to the ears and releasing the breath and releasing the shoulders. 2 more times, please. Inhale, bring it up. And exhale, release. You should feel really good if your neck is a little tight today. 1 more time. Inhale, shoulders to the ears. Whew, let it go and really let those shoulders kind of settle back. We're not rolling the shoulders back. We're just letting them kind of relax down into a nice neutral position. Hands can be turned up on the thighs if you'd like. This kind of brings in a little bit more energy. If you're feeling a little flighty already today, you're like, I don't need any more energy. I want to unwind. Palms down to the thighs, grounding energy here. And so I just want to invite you, now that we've kind of settled into our seated position, to close your eyes if it feels comfortable. And if you're not in a space where that is available to you, you can just look down at the ground. That's totally fine. But what I would like you to do is start to notice the sounds around you. They can be far off in the distance, vehicles perhaps. Maybe you hear birds outside. Just notice each one. You don't have to put a name to it, but we're just drawing the attention to the noises outside of, let's say, our vision. Unless, of course, you're practicing outside. In which case, I'd say lucky. So then draw your attention now to your space that is within your vision. So I'm inside my house, obviously. I can hear my clock ticking. I can hear my cats fidgeting around. And if you're outside, just kind of notice, maybe within a 20, 30 foot range, what might be around you. And now we're going to bring that inward, and we're going to notice our breath, feeling the rise and the fall of the chest, and the soft rise and fall of the belly. And just keep that going, breathing into the chest. Exhale through the nostrils. Inhale into the belly. Exhale through the nostrils. Let's do that one more time. Inhale into the chest. Exhale through the nostrils. And then inhale into the belly. Exhale through the nostrils. And just find your normal pace of breath. And for just a few moments, I'd like for you to dive in and see how you feel. Your breath will tell you if it feels shallow and labored. See if you can just sip in a little bit more breath. Don't overdo it if it feels like too much. If you feel overwhelmed, don't do it. Just let yourself be where you are. Meet yourself in your space. A few more breaths here, just noticing if anything's holding. I just noticed my muscles are trying to contract in my right leg. Let those go. Softening the skin on the face. Perhaps even parting the teeth just a little. Meeting yourself where you are. Good. So wherever your hands were or are, let's go ahead and move them down by our sides. And you can keep your eyes closed here if you'd like. I'll guide you through this process. Pulling in on the low belly just a little bit to protect our back. We're going to start matching the breath to the movement here. Turn those palms up and we're just going to breathe in. Breathing into the belly. And I'll tell you what, you don't even have to bring the hands all the way above the head. When you stop breathing in, pause the arms, turn them down, and then begin to exhale. You don't have to make it any harder or any more difficult or put too much thought into it. And when you reach the bottom, begin again. Big breath into the belly. As long as it feels comfortable, and when it stops feeling comfortable or you fill up, pause your movement and your breath. Turn those palms out and exhale. Same thing, following the movement with your breath, allowing the movement to complete as the breath completes. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. And release and exhale. Good. This time, left hand's going to stay down. And we're going to breathe the right hand all the way up. And we're going to find a gentle little stretch here to the left. Reaching until the breath is full. And then exhale. Start to make your way back down. Right hand to the ground. Inhale, left hand to the sky. Stretch it out. And then when you're ready to exhale, turn it around and down. One more time, each side. Inhale, right hand to the sky. Stretch it to the left. And exhale back down. Full movement, full breath. Last time. Left hand to the sky, reach it out and over. And inhale, draw it up. Exhaling all the way down. Good. Let's go ahead and switch our legs. So the opposite foot's going to come forward. The funny foot. And we're going to go ahead and just take our right hand over to our left knee. Left hand's going to come behind. And see if you can gaze straight out from your knee. So following your thigh all the way out, kind of in a diagonal. And then take an inhale, filling up the lungs. And exhale, twist a little more to your left, looking over your shoulder. Take an inhale when you're ready, and as you exhale, we're going to float back to center. Good. Let's do the same thing on the opposite side. Left hand to right knee, right hand behind you for stability. And we're going to look over our right knee, so directly out from the thigh. And just breathe for a moment. Take an inhale, filling in the lungs, feel the rib cage expand. And then as you exhale, twist just a little bit more and look behind you. Keep your breath going, slow and steady. And then on your next exhale, you're going to go ahead and float that forward. Let's undo the legs and come into our tabletop position. So we're going to find hands under shoulders, knees underneath our hips. Spread those fingertips out nice and wide to take any pressure off of your wrists. We've got our elbows shining forward, our elbow pits, so the inside of the elbow. And what that does is it gives us kind of an external rotation through the biceps. So instead of rolling forward, which would be elbows out, we're going to roll back. And what that does is that kind of connects our shoulder back. Hugging into the low belly, finding stability here, hugging into the low ribs, kind of hollowing out the low belly, lengthening through the crown of the head and pressing through the palms. We want to be strong through the arms so we're not dumping our chest towards the floor and we're not bending through the arms. We're nice and straight. Tailbone is relaxed and we're going to reach our right leg out. And you might find that you have to maneuver your hands a little bit to find a little bit more solid ground. That's totally fine. And we want to keep our hips straight out from one another. So if you look down, if your toes are pointing towards the ground, you are good. If the toes are rotated out, then rotate them down and hopefully your leg will follow. So when you're ready, reaching left hand forward. Still hugging into that low belly. So we're going to take a breath here, nice deep inhale. And then elbows going to come to knee as you exhale. Pause. Inhale, use that full breath. And exhale, come to center. 2 more. Inhale, big breath. Exhale, draw it in. Last time, inhale, reach, 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 reach. And exhale to center. Last time, reaching it out. Find your full breath here, and then on the exhale, relax it down. Walk your hands back to center here for just a second. Go ahead and pick up that right wrist, just rotate it for a moment, and we're going to go ahead and thread the needle. So taking the right hand up, nice big breath, open through the chest, and then exhale, bring right hand in between left arm and left knee, and slowly, gently lower yourself down. If you're finding that that is not available to you, get a blanket or a block. You can rest your shoulder on top of it, or you can rest your head on top of it. Just find a space that is going to feel really comfortable to you, and you're not crunching your neck or your shoulder. So while we're in our thread the needle pose, the left hand is going to be stretched out way to the top of the mat, pressing into the palms. And then press into your knees. Find some action here. And then once you get the palm pressing, the knees pressing, press into the tops of the feet. So we're very active through the legs. And then if it feels good, you can kind of press into that right shoulder. Find your breath. We're just going to hold for 3, 2, 1. Draw the left palm towards your nose. Press up. There we go. All right. So go ahead and come back to your tabletop position. And we're going to take a couple of cat-cows here too before we move into the next side. So nice deep breath in, dropping belly down, gaze and hips move to the sky. And exhale, chin to chest, rounding tailbone down, pressing into the palms of the hands. Inhale. And exhale. Find your cat. Inhale, using the full breath, exploring the movement. Exhale, finding your cat. Come back to neutral. Let's go ahead and do the other side. Reaching left leg behind, lifting it up, making sure your hips are even. Hugging in through that low belly, getting that core centered, reaching forward with the right hand. And when you're ready, remember, full breaths. Take a nice deep inhale here. And then as you exhale, elbow moves towards knee. Inhale. Nice and slow. Exhale, bring it to center. Inhale. Exhale. Last time, inhaling, reaching, stretching it out. Full inhale. And then softly release everything down to the ground. Let's go ahead and pick up that left wrist for a moment. Give it a couple of rotations. And actually, before we move into thread the needle, go ahead and with fingertips spread out nice and wide, you can find a little bit of rocking here into the wrists. And then you can, if you want to pick up the wrists a little bit, kind of get into the knuckles here, just waking up these muscles. You can kind of roll the hand around a little bit. There you go. Okay, relaxing the hands down, pressing through the palms, finding that nice dome shape through the upper shoulders, hugging in that low belly. Let's take an inhale, left hand to the sky. And exhale, thread the needle, left hand between the right arm and right knee. Let's bring that right hand nice and far out, pressing into the surface of your mat. And then pressing into your knees and into the tops of the feet. So we're active all the way from the fingertips in the right hand to the toes. And then if it feels good, softly press into that left shoulder. See if you can get a little bit deeper stretch, maybe all the way across the low back. Finding your breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and draw that right hand towards you. Press up, coming into tabletop position once again. And go ahead and find a little bit of organic movement here. So you can swing side to side. You can do more cat-cows if you want. You can move into child's pose and then forward again. Honestly, whatever it is that feels really good right now, go ahead and do that. Just a few more breaths here. Hey, Jolly. All right, come back into your tabletop. We're going to turn our toes under and we're going to come into our downward dog. But before you do, we're going to count our way up. So we're going to take it nice and slow and we're going to do it for 6 counts. And we're going to do it on an exhale. So when you're ready, take a nice deep inhale. And then on your exhale, start to move, send those hips back. 6, 5, 4, pressing into the palms. 3, 2, 1. So we've arrived in our downward facing dog. take a few moments to find a little extra movement. Maybe you want to walk your dog. So you bend your knees generously, digging the heels towards the ground, being careful not to overextend through the knees. Pressing it, like I said, into the palms, strong through the arms, a little external rotation in the shoulders, relaxing the head, hugging into the low belly, lifting up through the hips, finding that deep stretch through the spine. And then pause and just breathe for a few moments. Just enjoying the stillness, noticing how downward dog makes the whole body connect, come alive. Every muscle right now is functioning in some way. It's all working together to hold you in this A-frame shape. And then when you're ready, we're going to anchor down our right heel. We're going to lift the left heel up, find our three-legged dog. Pause here for just a moment, rotate through that left heel, dropping the right heel down just a little bit. And then we're going to take an inhale and we're going to take that left hip and we're going to roll it on top of the right hip, opening up the hips, and then release it back down. One more time. Inhale, rotate, rolling it on top of the right hip, and then exhale, bring it down. Take a deep inhale here, and on your exhale, full breath matches full movement. Start to move that left knee forward towards your nose. And then when you're ready, drop that foot down. You got it. Let's go ahead and drop that right leg down just for a moment here, the right knee. Find a space for your shoulders here. Take the gaze forward. And then when you're ready, we're just going to take an inhale. We're going to draw the hands above the head and we're going to open up the arms. And then exhale back down into your lunge. Turn that back toe under, lift up that back knee. Same thing, coming up into our high lunge, opening up the arms, elbows come back. And then exhale, bring those hands down to the ground. We're going to pull the back foot in just a little bit. And you might like to use your blocks here. We're going to come into pyramid pose, straightening out that front knee, settling into the back foot. We're going to find this nice length through the spine. So both legs are straight, but we want to find a little bit of buoyancy in the knees. We never want to lock them out. Again, connecting to that back foot, pressing into our front toe, big toe, and then shifting the hip. So the right hip shifts forward, relaxing the head and the neck. Taking a few breaths here. And then when you're ready, we're going to gently bend through that front knee, walk that right foot forward and come into your forward fold. I'm going to use my blocks today. So I'm finding more of a flat back position, but you are welcome to go ahead and release your head all the way down towards the floor, as long as your low back and your hamstrings feel good while you're doing it. So go ahead and find a little bit of movement in the neck. You can bring the elbows, the palms of the hands around the elbows, and then find a gentle sway from side to side there. And then we're going to take a little twist. So anchor down your left hand and breathe up your right hand. Again, full awareness of the breath, the inhale as you lift until you've come to the top of the breath. And then we're going to exhale all the way down, moving nice and slow with the breath. And then inhaling, left hand up. Same thing, big breath in. And as you exhale, take your time, floating the arm down with the breath. Finish out that exhale. Inhale, right hand to the sky. Exhale, float it down. Last time, left side, big breath in. And big breath out. Bending those knees generously, let's bring the hands down to the mat. Right foot's gonna go back, left foot's gonna come back. And you're gonna find yourself in a plank position. You're welcome to drop your knees here. Shoulders are sinking down the back. We're hugging up through the middle, through the rib cage. Heels are pressing back. You might find that your quads and your glutes are connecting. It's long through the neck for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Hug those elbows in and lower yourself down. Release the toes. Hug those elbows back. Take a nice deep breath in, hugging shoulder blades to spine. Baby cobra. And exhale, release. Inhale, come on up. Baby cobra. Exhale, release. And we're going to do that one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Press into the palms. Draw yourself up. And please indulge yourself in a child's pose. Toes together, knees apart, and just resting the hips back. Now, if a full-blown child's pose isn't in your practice today, you can come to rest on your forearms. You can just, you don't have to lower the hips all the way back. So remember what I said, comfort is what we're aiming for. Comfort is key. I don't ever want you to feel compromised while you're doing a practice. So always just listen and just be kind to yourself. So while we're resting here, see if you can come to that space behind the shoulders, or I'm sorry, the back of the shoulders. And as you breathe, see if you can send the shoulders, the scapula, apart. And do that a few more times. Nice deep breaths with the intention of moving the shoulder blades apart. One more big breath here. And release. Go ahead and begin to move the hands out in front of you. Start to stretch through the spine. Draw the knees back to center. And we're going to find ourselves back in our downward facing dog, and we're going to use our exhale, the entirety of the exhale, to move into our shape. So to get started, bring those hands, walk them out a little bit farther forward than your shoulders, turn those toes under, and let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, begin to move back, pressing into the palms, nice and slow, experiencing the journey, not worrying about our destination here. And then once you find your down dog, go ahead and explore a little bit of movement in the shape, just like we did last time. Maybe you do something different. Maybe you swing your hips down a little bit. Or maybe you lift the heels and drop the heels together. And then let's pause for just a few breaths, pressing to the inner part of the wrist, pressing into the fingertips to release any pressure off your wrists, pressing through the palms, reaching from the hips, pulling along the spine. And then when you're ready, press into that left heel. Lift your right foot up, three-legged dog. Go ahead and rotate through that heel for just a moment. And then when you're ready, take an inhale. We're going to lift that right hip right over the left. And then exhale, bring it down. Let's do that one more time. Nice deep inhale, bring it up. And rotate it down. Take a nice deep breath here, and remember, we're going to use the full breath on the exhale to draw the knee towards our nose. So whenever you're ready, draw it forward, and then come into your low lunge, dropping that back knee, keeping our front knee above our ankle. And then once you get here, we're going to take a nice deep breath in. Fingers sweep up, bring those elbows back, and exhale, float it down. Turn the back toes under, lift up that back knee. We're going to do it again, and we're going to find high lunge. Bring it up, open up through the chest. You might even be getting a quad stretch. I definitely am. Exhale, bring those fingertips down. We're going to bring that left foot up about a foot. Get those blocks if you want to use them in your pyramid pose. Straighten out both legs. Pressing into the back foot and then into the big toe of the front foot. And then once you get that situated and you find a spot for the arms, you feel good resting in the neck and the shoulders, you're going to hug that right hip back. So we're hugging the left hip down. Getting into that IT band on the side of the leg. Now, if you have it in your practice, you are more than welcome to drop nose towards knee, as long as it's comfortable. So a few more breaths here. When you're ready, bend softly into that front knee. Walk that left foot forward as we come to the front of the mat. Find your forward fold. Relax those shoulders and the neck. Maybe find a gentle yes or no here. And then we're going to drop into our booty, and we're going to come up into chair pose. So connecting into the soles of the feet, relaxing the shoulders down the back, tailbone is rotated under, weight is in our heels, so you can lift your toes without falling back. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, push it up. Big inhale here. Maybe we open up again through the elbows. And then exhale, palms together, float it down through center. Bending into the booty this time, we're going to bring our hands to the ground. Walk right foot back, walk left foot back. Coming back into our plank position. Letting the shoulders relax back, hugging in through the belly. For 5, 4, 3, 2, hug those elbows in, and on 1, come down to the ground. Release the feet. Tops of the feet are on the ground. Hug those elbows in. On an inhale, breathe it up, hugging shoulder blades to spine. Exhale, release it down. Let's do that again. Big inhale. Lift it up. And exhale down. Last time, breathe it up and in, and come up as far as feels comfortable. Maybe even come into an up dog at this point. Stretching through the front of the belly, and then exhale. Go ahead and bring it down. Turn the toes under, palms to the mat, lift yourself up into tabletop, and float yourself back into a child's pose. Take a couple of resting breaths here, enjoying stillness, letting the forehead kiss the floor, and just coming into this beautiful space that you've created for yourself today. Allowing yourself to be 100% present. Giving this gift of movement to yourself. And maybe even a little inner contemplation. Which is always fun, especially when we're talking about the yoga shapes. It's always fun to play with them. There are lineages that, they have the end-all, be-all of a shape, but for the most part, everybody's different. Everybody feels good in different spaces and different movements and different areas of their bodies. You just have to respect that. Just let that be a part of what you're doing, what you're discovering and learning. All right, when you're ready, go ahead and start to draw the hands forward, pulling yourself back up into tabletop position. Pressing into the palms. We're just going to work a little bit more into our hips today before we start to wind down here. So we're going to come into fire hydrant. So right leg is going to come out straight. Straight out to the side. So your leg is going to stay in the exact shape that it is. You're just going to lift it up. Fire hydrant. And then release it down. Inhale, lift it up. And release it down. Let's go 3 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bring it down. I think we have 1 more left. Inhale, bring it up. And release it down. Let's go ahead and move to the opposite side. Get yourself situated, hugging in that low belly. We got to protect that low back. And when you're ready, inhale, lift the leg up. And exhale, bring it down. Keep it going. Inhale up. Exhale down. 3 more. Inhale up. Release it down. Here we go, last one. And release it down. Go ahead and walk the knees forward. You can drop your booty back. And we're going to come into a seated position. Bringing our legs out in front of us. Bringing those toes towards the ceiling, lengthening up through the spine, coming into our staff pose. Shoulders are relaxed back. And we're going to take an inhale and breathe the fingertips up. Good. As we exhale, we're going to twist. Right hand's going to come to left toes. Left hand's going to reach behind. Inhale, bring it back, connecting to that core. Exhale, left hand to right toes, right hand floats behind you. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, right hand, left toes. Inhale, bring it up. Last time, left hand, right toes. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, we're going to float our hands down behind us. Really anchor in those heels We're going to lift up, pressing through the arms. Now, if this doesn't feel good, you can stay seated and just see if you can open up a little bit through the chest. But if you can lift up, you get a little extra stretch through the arm. You can let your head kind of rest back. Don't let it dangle all the way down. And then go ahead and release. Bring the hands forward. Give them a little shake. And then you're going to go ahead and slide onto your back. Draw the knees in to center. Give them a little hug. Let the knees go ahead and open out to the side. So we're going to stretch a little bit through the inner groin here and the inner thigh. Hands can rest on the inside of the knees, relaxing through the shoulders. And just let your legs hang. So we're not really putting any pressure anywhere. I mean, you might feel a little pressure with the hands on top of the knees, but that's just going to be like normal. You're not pushing down. You're just holding to the leg. You can rotate through the heels if you'd like. And then go ahead and draw the knees back to center. Give them another little hug. And then go ahead and drop the feet down. And we're going to take the knees and drop them off to the right. We're going to find this nice little twist here. Now, a couple of things you can do. You can stay here. Pretty easy twist for most people. If you need to, you can put a blanket or a block in between your knees. Now, if you want a deeper stretch here, you can take your right foot and put it on top of your left knee and kind of draw that leg down. So it's up to you. And then maybe bring the hands up into kind of goalpost arms here. And then just take a couple of breaths. You're welcome to close your eyes. Few more breaths. And then when you're ready, you're going to make your way into center, nice and slow. Get yourself centered on your mat again. Go ahead and draw the knees in for just a few breaths. And then you're welcome to drop the knees off to the left. You can open up the arms. Big Texas T maybe this time. Hi. A few more breaths here. High five. And then come on back to center. Center yourself up. Go ahead and pull your knees in to the center. Give yourself a gentle hug here. And then we're going to go ahead and bring the soles of the feet down to the ground. Palms down to the ground. Press into the feet and start to lift yourself up into bridge. So hip points come up and only come up as far as feels really comfortable to you. If you start to feel it in your low back, drop down a little bit. So the shins are pressing forward. We're connecting to our glutes and our thighs, hamstrings, and we're lifting, lifting, lifting. And then as you exhale, we start to lower from the shoulder blades first. Down, 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 relaxing the low back, releasing the glutes, soften the legs. Take a breath. So let's try our bridge. We're going to do it for a count of 5. Lifting for 5, lowering for 5, and we're going to match our breath. So a count of 5 with the breath. Pressing into the soles of the feet. When you're ready, start to breathe in and lift for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's pause for 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower for 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Release everything. 3, 2, 1, and lift. Press into the soles of the feet and lift, lift, lift. 3, 4, 5, and pause. And exhale, lower. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and relax those hips down. We're going to take our hands, we're going to make a little triangle, and we're going to put it underneath our hips here. Kind of wrapping it, not wrapping it, but kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? You're kind of, the tailbone is in the center of your little triangle or diamond shape here. And we're going to go ahead and release the legs out long. Relax our shoulders. Connect to the low belly. And we're going to lift one leg for a count of 5. Drawing it up so it points towards the ceiling. Big inhale. Exhale, lower it down for a count of 5, using the entirety of the exhale. Good. Relax it down. Next leg. Inhale. 5, 4. Lift it all the way to the ceiling. 1. And exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right leg. Inhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. 5, 4. Staying connected to the core. Relax it down. Let's come up with the left leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release it down. Exhale. Staying connected to that core. Awesome. Let's do it one more time each side. Right leg up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Opposite leg last time. Bring it all the way up. Good. Exhale, release it all the way down. Go ahead and bring the soles of the feet back to the floor. Lift your booty up, move your hands, and windshield wiper the legs back and forth. You might find that widening your feet so they're on the edge of the mat feels a little bit more accessible. Just windshield wiper back and forth here. Go ahead and release the legs all the way down to the ground. Take the hands above the head, clasp the fingers together, turn the palms out, and find a deep stretch here, reaching all the way up, stretching, pulling in all the muscles here. One big, huge body hug. Yes. And release. Bringing the hands down to a space that feels comfortable. As a matter of fact, you might like to place one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. Maybe let the legs spread out a little bit on the mat, giving your knees and feet ample space. Finding length in the back of the neck by gently dipping the chin towards the chest just a little bit. Softening the skin around the face. And then really allowing the body to release. As if you were maybe holding something very heavy for a long time and you finally get to put it down. If you have your hand on your belly and on your heart space, see if you can connect to the breath in the belly. And then maybe even feel your heartbeat. And if you can, if it feels comfortable, if you feel like you're in that space, you can send yourself some extra love today. For laughing when you need it, and for loving when it's deserved. Well, it's always deserved. I didn't mean it like that. But sometimes when we come up with negative thoughts, we have to counteract that with loving ones. And there's no better place to practice that than on your yoga mat with no judgment. Taking a few more breaths here. Letting the breath move to the belly. Feeling the breath getting deeper, wider. And you can sigh it out. And then as you're ready to move on, and you don't have to, you can stay here for as long as you like. But if you're ready, you can start to find a little movement in the wrists and the ankles. You can maybe start to rock the legs in and out. And then let's go ahead and turn to one side. You can rest your head on top of your arm for a couple of breaths here. Just kind of waking up and coming back into our space. And then Taking the palms of your hands and pushing yourself up into an upright seated position. And just noticing how you're feeling at this moment. And then drawing the hands to heart space, let's take one final deep breath together. Sigh it out. Bringing the thumbs to the forehead. Namaste.